And these are still high nationalism. When you look at it, you see the picture of your uncle, your fellow, one of the colors of yes, but you can even see some of them with their infrared observance. But you know, I like that understand. This we see all these things shows high nationalism. To just men with you, but I don't know, I still cannot walk so that's it. So we have other pictures. So you know, we have the landmass, different technology. Landmass called the geography. The ground, when you cut it on the ground, then we have what you could draw. Like if you're on special research, if you move to our study, so you could draw. You also see this one, basically, some of them have emptied already. You understand? So we have other guns also. Okay. All these people are Biafra. Yes, what it is showing is that this place at the inception of 1967, this is the Biafra area, the war progresses. By 1969, the war ended 1970, January 15, 1970, which we left on January 12. Then we have an important picture. This I can see. I'm just a free connection. I don't like passing this picture because of the, let's say, I'm not drawing inference here to teach some of our young ones and some researchers. This connection fought the war at his early stage, survived the war. Then 50 years after the war, Boko Haram killed him in Meduguri last 2 years. 2 years, kind of serious. The whole combatant had never survived the war. Shoot him and kill him in Meduguri, kind of show. So that is how you know the secret. No, he's from the north. These are the war planes by the Biafrans. So that the man called for Lucy. In the case of war crime, then the heavy block, the one that the Messiah of the Biafra. And so this is the popular Abia sector. And if I say very popular sector, we have the Biafra destroyed those about 2,000 Nigerian soldiers with their ammunition at the instead of it. This is the highest movement of arms and ammunition in West Africa as of that time. If they enter that starvation, war victims, passion, malnutrition, the effects of the war. These are foreign observers, foreign correspondents. Von Lucid, the one that supplied that Biafran war plane. It's not that war. Supplied the Biafran war plane I was touching there. The Biafran called it Biafran BD, and the called it Biafran mosquito throughout the war. You see, it was only explosive plane. He converted to war plane. It's part in number. When you guys, Biafra. So when you guys see one of the one was destroyed, but the other four now so they can transfer it. Okay, sir. That's the transmitter used by the government. It's a foreign community to this transmitter, sir. It's the transmitter. The voice of Biafra transmitter. You are the medium of voice of Biafra. This is the radio house of Biafra. That's what we are. This is the transmitter we are making use to communicate to outside world, internationally. Yeah, that is why they declared Bujim here in the first place. That's why I don't need to pass here. But the what have I come to do? And the voice of Biafra, the radio house of Biafra, Biafra was collected. We have put this machine you see. Understand? And if you are looking for it inside the ground, this is just a new introduction. You see the new wall. For me, I'm again putting all these things because from my studies, you don't the first monument to test and people start looking for the original and know what it is like. Because the purpose of monument is to show ingenuity of man over time. Yeah. So once that is defeated, anything happens sometimes. So we'll move inside here. This is the office of Mr. Kokon, the one I came for. This is his office where he was performing for. See him here, Mr. Kokon, them see this picture here. Mr. Kokon, them dub the Lord Hall of Biafra. The Lord Hall of Biafra. HKW, HKW, the Lord Hall. They are very peace and unity. That guy that name before. He's dead now. Peace, unity, freedom. Unity and freedom. What the guy that was named before? What's your capture? No, it's not Biafra, but see. It's Eastern Nigeria. Oh, this is Eastern Nigeria? the village, because Eastern Nigeria formed Biafra.
Yeah.
So they are forming their coat of arms. After forming Biafra, that after they remove sadness and form Biafra coat of arms. This Biafra coat of arms. You understand? So the man really take on it. I love this man because what all this military. We have also a secret group in case of that is he escaped.
We had the man escape from here.
Let me give Sarah get the bread. When they get to Ghana,
They are rude, brother. Can it be
Yes, no, you don't know.
Let me hold it. This was a trench linking to Juku Bunker, the government house and the radio house. So Juku normally maneuver his way from the trench to the radio house for more communication. That's what boys do sometimes. I mean, that's what they say. He's normally miss. He don't see his movement because out of strategy of war, the best way to really survive in battle. We are all inside this place. We're inside this place. This is the ground that we are in. You understand?
So, okay, the building is under here now.
Yes, sir. That's what I say. See from the point we move inside the ground. All this while we're inside this ground. Can we show the Biafran flag? That unplastered wall.
yes.
Which is the first of Biafra. And that is that place. See, that wall you see that descending like this, that step we are moving down. This building we are non-existent during the war.
Okay.
In fact, everywhere here is forest. From the mirror you came in, that road, so here is forest. It was at the center of the forest that they built it, designed it. That was difficult for Nigerians. Even then with the help of the British to locate the radio house. Because if you capture a radio house, you are one overseas to talk about that war.
Yeah.
But the nation will not have any voice to make case that they didn't exist. Not to talk of their fighting war.
Yes.
We left this place on plaster, so on painter, so you see the original wall. She is casting. That's the way we descended and moved inside the ground.
What about this?
These are air vents. You watch, you see pipes. Different pipes. It's connected to the ground. That's what enables air. See, there are so many of them. They are still clearing. See, so many of them. Inside that place. That's what enables air to come to the ground. It's part of the technology. Even today, if the brown seven, when we are up, it was hotter. In the brown showing you that map, it was cooler.
Cool, yeah.
If you brown seven, you those airplanes. Even as of 50 over 50 years, you're still working. So that is the so we are now the open air gallery. The open air gallery. So we move through this way to the war ship in the course of the movement. This is what we call the red rifles of Biafra. The red rifle was locally fabricated by the Biafran engineers, called the Red Devils of Biafra. Tap A1 to tap A5.
You make a very strong.
Tap A1 to tap A5. That's the first stage they call it. See bullets. See bullet. No, it's not bulletproof. See bullets.
Mental is strong.
See bullets. No, it's not. But the only different thing is that when the Biafran noticed that this one is being destroyed, just like those that produced 404, later developed Type 04. The Biafrans advanced and produced what they call Type B. You can see this are see bullets. They produce what they call Type B, which is this. So the same caliber of gun that was really open this one could not open this one again. Okay. And they don't let you. Yes, this one is Type A. Type A1 to Type A5. If you count this 5 in number, at the time they produce Type B, which is this one. And this one is more militarized because they don't now shoot from outside. They shoot from this place.
Okay.
Even though that now we are most of them are eating domi, but I refuse to eat domi. That's why I can open this thing. You see, I refuse to eat domi. See this where they see this is how it looks like. You see it? That's the Type B. And you can open that one.
It has engine inside there.
Yes.
Now you do.
It moves. Some of them are. Look at that one. It looks like that. What happened when the Biafrans lost Port Harcourt? Now when they lost the Port Harcourt, so ordinarily the calculation by the British and the English that the war was supposed to end. But after the same model of invention, the Japan was able to fabricate what they call the cooking pot. It's a new refiner. That's what Japan used to refine crude oil fuel from 1968 to 1970. That's one and a half issue when you talk on landing cost of fuel. Because in the state of fuel, you need more fuel to survive. If we, Nigerians, could really get enough fuel during the war on our own, indigenous technology, at this time, if we had industry, I don't think we got enough the landing cost of fuel that changes the cost of our local fuel we use here. So it was very effective during that time. If we are going to go in here, you see the connections. Inside that, it's different connection. So we have to move this is another transmitter. The one we saw inside is called Voice of Biafra. That's for, it's very important for Biafra, for external communication. External communication, telling the world, for the war propaganda, discussing the diplomacy that is involved. This one is Radio Biafra. Mostly in Igbo language. I don't like using the word vernacular. Because I see derogatory from the British to belittle us and take what belongs to us. When you research for the also understand that. So we have here the for used in local language to greet the Easterners how the war was going. Also motivating their youth. Do you need for them to join the war? That's the a young man who leaves the mother without telling the mother I want to go and do this. They call Radio Biafra. What I want is called Voice of Biafra. They move this one from one place to another. But that one is there. Very important for the Biafrans. So
let's go to the airport.
Okay, for the Air Force. Follow you. Follow it. This way, sir. This way, sir. You can, yes, you can enjoy aircraft. That's for the Illusion 28. Illusion 28 fighter bomber. It's an No. This is national war. Displaying what it was important in the indigenous, it was part of the indigenous technology. Showing your indigenous technology, and that was done a sign to the African side. Do you understand? The report that the other side is foreign to the people. So this is a Russian method, but owned by the Egyptian government. When I mentioned that, and they planned the capacity to move. So it was German that was controlling all the 1966 and then by 67 as well, but they don't have capacity to move. And they do it not. Because it's the supplied by Convolution. The one Biafran baby or Biafran is 5 in number. But it's Biafran is the more supplied by Convolution. Also, another advantage is not that the radar has already worked. They want that sea. Suddenly, that's what I don't That's another technology by the Biafrans. Organized system called RAP, which is research and production into Biafra. But that's what marveled the British. Why is it within 6 months we got developed an anti-aircraft gun? That was why they wondered how shit and all was not down. You understand? So, but the important thing is that for us to move forward and use this technology, most of them fought war, they don't attack war. We were talking about even the American degree, they understood that, but their interest in surviving Nigeria, I believe, was not because they love Nigeria so much, because of economic interest.
Yes.
To stop what they think was the second development of technology. Implemented to their own. That's the issue of the aircraft. I said that no, that's the modern modified and this is the one that will shoot out of shot that shoot out of the man that was shot.
Yes.
Why this one is the method that I chief of army staff under control and the heat of the war collapse the action Benue State.
Oh, climb up.
This is one of the major guns used against the Biafran used to shoot down F-28. Biafran was at the early stage of the war.
So usually it's to shoot ship.
At the early stage of the war. Let's say you tell someone that's what we're going to move to Lagos at the Biafran got F-28. This gun was the one used against us. Now this warship. The one Biafran lost Patagon. Ordinarily, it was supposed to stop, but the last before the power dimensions. So at the time now, that was when Biafran developed what refinery they call it import.
That's why the one
Okay, let's now move and see how the ship looks like. This is the back of the warship. This is the back of the warship. This is the major line. You can see a snapper.
You can watch.
so when you do that, you go cock and keep things.
Nah, God, there, but God,
No, you don't cock and keep. Now they cock already.
when you get shot or something, like nah, man, they need.
So it means it's not for human being, it's for
human being.
for aircraft and.
But at the end of the day, they say man gets a man. If the ship has aircraft, cannot get a man. It's for aircraft, but along the line. If they see you jumping and coming, you see the man will target you.
Or is it the original roof?
The need to see somebody. Like for this thing now, like when we move inside also, you see some of the thing that was mapped. It's not.
So this one that will want to shoot gun now will not stand. We're sitting down.
If you want to fire,
No, you will sit down one now. When we fire, you can't fire. They're not be standing like this.
But there's no
No,
position
but in full war now, in full war, what happens that you stand and be an alert, but don't you be changed? You mount surveillance because apart from shooting this gun, you're mounting surveillance. You understand? So when you stand at studies, you stand for a time, you will move.
No, we are entering.
If you sit down, that means you are. So, sir.
Orlando survives with the good.
No, we.
Say no more inside.
So that's the thing with inside water.
This you must sit down. This one you sit down to fire it. There's an opening there also from the ship. We are when the soldier is dropped or falling soldier falls. Because we don't kill soldier in the battlefield and the soldier can fall. So another man will march from there and take over this ship. So that the captain here is holding this thing to give the command. Others will march from that ground and come there and take over, sir. So at this point, let the 12 comes to an end.
This is where they control the ship from.
That's wonderful.
The captain will leave. And you have to do something as a new combatant for you. When you succeed, you will come back. And that will now when you get the end of the day for stopping the onslaught. War is not the person that don't play the war, the nation. They will also say that war is a necessary end.
Rescue boats. Yeah, no, that's good.
already too late. Oh. It won't make sense. Oh. Where am I going to? It's already too late. Oh. I've already come too far. It's already too late. Oh. We won the war. We will spend the billions.
We'll spend the billions.
We will spend for Jesus.
We will spend for Jesus.
We will shift the culture.
We will shift the culture.
We will heal the sick.
We will heal the sick.
We will raise the dead.
We will raise the dead.
Transform the nation.
Transform the nation.
The